Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're here to do May's budget. If you're new here, this is my budget planner. I use the Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly. Oh, I guess it's just the monthly planner now. Not a deluxe monthly anymore, just called the monthly planner. I use this for all of my budgeting. I put all of my personal finances and tracking expenses on the monthly page. Then I will fill out like stuff that I need to do for my budget or like important things I need to remember, monthly budget goals, and then sometimes I'll put a little quote here. And then all of these stickers that you see are from my shop, PlannerAnnaStickers. And let's just kind of get started. I've got my whole little cheat here. I already did out all the math, all of everything. May is going to be a tight month for me. And that is because in April, I decided I was going to do $500 for the whole month for delivery. And I started going out. I went out a few times and I just have no motivation to do it right now. And I know a lot of it is mental stuff. Depression and anxiety are difficult. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But so for May, I've lowered my expectation and I put in exactly what I need to fulfill my budget requirements for May. And so I'm going to start filling this out. So where's my little ruler? Because I want straight lines. I'm going to put in these lines first. I put the stickers down because these were actually, these would have been put in my miscut, misfit bags. This one got a little ripped. The transaction log one got stepped on by my cat's wet paw prints because he's, you know, he's just so great. But so that's why these ones are all set down and ready to go. I'd planned this video for next week actually, but the video that was going to be for today instead was my Silk and Sonder review. And at the time of filming this, I still haven't received it. I know that it has shipped, it's in the mail, but I didn't want to like push it and then not have a video up because I didn't receive it in time. So I just went ahead and decided to do this one early. So for income, I'm going to do McDonald's and then delivery. And then I added an extra line so I could include my rollover from April. And then other, which I never budget for anything for other. And I'm not going to budget, sorry, I forgot to mute my computer. And I'm not going to budget anything for rollover, but I did want to have those lines in there. And then for McDonald's, I am anticipating, hopefully, $1,400. And that just seems to be like, not including April because I still haven't gotten my second paycheck of the month. And then in March, I took a week off for vacation time they wanted me to take and didn't get paid for it yet, which I'm hoping will be on my check for the 23rd. But just kind of looking back the last several months, I've averaged about $1,400. So that's what we're going with. And then to cover everything else, I only need to do $200 for delivery stuff. And that is, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different payday chances between the two platforms to get $200. So that's not difficult at all. That's $25 a week per platform, which is really just going out once or twice. So I think that's definitely a little more doable than the high expectations I've been putting on myself. And so that will leave me with $1,600 expected income for the month. And then I do want to start by filling in my fixed expenses just because those are a bit easier. They don't change. I don't have to like explain as much about them, I feel. So we're going to start with my auto payment. And in April, I decided to switch these around. I used to list them on here in order of their due date. And I am still doing that. I just switched it around a little bit. Netflix, Pandora, electric, and then daycare, which is every Friday. And then I'm just going to draw a line there because now these bills are the bills that I will pay in May for June. They're the bills that are due the 1st through the 5th before I get my first paycheck in June. So that is storage. And this just in my mind seems like it would work a lot better than thinking to myself, well, I paid these bills last month, but I also paid these bills for next month. And so this just works out a little bit better. So on my monthly view, I show these same bills on their due date, and I will check mark them off when they get paid in April because I put the money into my account for bills and then let it sit there. And so these two will come out on the 5th. These two will come out on the 1st. And so I will check those off in May, but I won't check them off in here until I've paid them for June. If that makes any sense. It makes a lot more sense in my mind. So I'm going to put this. I've noticed when I lift it up on, that might be too high. Okay, we're going to go with this. When I lift it up a little bit on the coil, it seems like it's a little easier to write on. And then if I can lift my hand up a little bit as well. Coils are just difficult. $382.99. Spectrum is $59.99. $8.99 for Netflix and $9.99 for Pandora. Electric, I almost said Electra. Electric is $49. And daycare this month is $117.40. And I put this as a fixed expense because once I calculate it out, once I put it in here, I know that it's not going to change. I pay the same amount every week. And so the only difference that it changes is month to month, depending on how many Fridays there are. So for May, it'll be $117.40. Storage is $60. Blue Cross is $36.66. Vision is $13.51. And dental is $21.42, which leaves that $759.95. Okay, so that's done. I can take this out now and have my little cheat sheet back. Okay, so there's all my fixed expenses. And now let's go ahead and do the variable expenses, which has a few more lines. Actual, budgeted, and then my little paid column, which I like to do this. That way I can check it off when it's been paid, because some of my variable expenses are like regular monthly bills. So I've got energy, the city bill, Verizon, credit card payments. And this month I am only making the budgeted minimum payments for my credit cards. Or I'm only making the minimum payments. I'm not adding any extra for my snowball this month. Because like I said, mental illness is hard. It's just hard. And it's harder, I think, when the person you're living with who is supposed to also support you, doesn't believe in things like depression and anxiety, which is a whole nother thing for another time. So I've got groceries, household, and I don't believe I need anything for household. I do need to get some laundry stuff soon. So, which is why there's even an amount there. Fuel and car, eating out, sinking funds, other budgeted, baby steps. And like I said, even though I'm not putting anything into those, like I'm not budgeting anything, I still want a line for them. Unbudgeted. And I do need to check something real quick, because that will also depend if I need to make any extra. Okay. Declan gets to do outdoor soccer this year, which we could have done it last year, but it was going to be like a $60 payment for me to take him to the soccer fields and have the soccer coaches teach me how to teach him how to play soccer. And so we just didn't do it last year. We did like our little mini adventures instead, but this year it's back to normal. So I don't need the ruler for those items. So it's back to normal there. And so I just needed to make sure that I had already put enough into the sinking funds for his activities to cover that registration. And there is. So I did put it in there. Okay, so energy, I budget $66.63. And this is, for the most part, a fixed expense. We're on like our company's like winter guard program. And I just never know if that's going to like change or fluctuate, because I feel like we should have come due for a renewal or a change in our plan. And I haven't seen anything yet. So I keep that as a variable expense, which is just fine. The city bill, I'm going to go crazy here, and I'm just going to budget $67.04. That's what it's been the last 2 months. And of course, there's always room to change that, but we're just going to go with that. Verizon, I budgeted $287. Last month for April, it ended up being $286.22, which put me over budget for that. And I've been budgeting $285, and I know it's going to be a little bit more than that always because of like taxes and extra fees. So this month I just budgeted $287. Credit cards, the minimum payments budgeted, and I say this because I haven't received statements for any of them. So I budgeted $123 for that. And it's my Citibank card, my Discover card, and my Best Buy card. Those are the only 3 I have left. And I should be receiving statements for at least 2 of them real quick. But I just haven't yet. For groceries, I brought it down from $200 to just $150 this month. And then household, I've got $20, and that is just to cover the laundry stuff that I need to get. Fuel and car, I brought it down to $50 because, like I said, I am not planning to be highly ambitious this month with DoorDash and Grubhub. So I'm budgeting less for fuel. Eating out, I put $35, and I'm going to leave it there. It's not necessarily a category I need to budget for, but it is a category that I know I'll probably Me and Declan go through drive-thrus to get sodas. We do the gas station to get some candy sometimes. And I would just rather have that there than not. Okay, so that, both of those are going to be at 0. And this total leaves me $1.38. Not accounted for. And I didn't want to get too like straight into the math when I was doing this. So I did not write down what that total is. Okay. 838. Luckily, I still have it on the calculator on the calendar. 838.67. Okay, so that is what I'm budgeting for. Okay, so I've got 838.67 plus 759.95 minus 1,600. Yep, $1.38. So that is where we're sitting with that. I will go ahead and fill in my categories with you guys real quick. So I've got, we only have 4 weeks in May. That really threw me off. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, I guess, because I will count the May 1st as part of week 1. So my first check-in will be the 1st through the 8th. And then my last check-in will be the 23rd through the 31st, because I just want to end on the date. And the 31st is before, actually, Tuesday, I think. I don't remember. I've got my whole video schedule for May already done. But I know that this video for this check-in will go up after this week is over, so that's fine. But that will be included in there. So we're going to do this month, groceries, household, fuel and car, and eating out. Now, I used to track unbudgeted weekly, but I don't typically have a ton of unbudgeted items. So that's not really a huge deal for me. One of you guys commented a suggestion for what I could also track in my weekly check-in. I just completely spaced it. It's been a really long, rough week for me. So I will just definitely double check that, and maybe I will keep track of that for May and see how it goes, since I have an extra line for each week, which I don't normally have. And then we'll just fill this in. Groceries, we're starting out with $150. Household, we're starting out with $20. Fuel and car, we're starting out with $50. And eating out is $35. So that is where we're going with that. And I don't want to fill out, this page will be for my business budget, business expenses, and stuff like that. And then I've got sinking funds and transaction log. And I'm going to wait to fill this out. I don't do this like, it looks like I have a ton, but I don't fund them all at one time. I just want the line item there. And then these are just kind of extra pages right now. But I will fill this in off camera just because I want to make sure with my sinking funds that I need all those categories at some point, or if there's something that I need as a category. And then also this other budgeted. So I do paycheck budgets, and this one is just for Chewy. I have Chewy delivered for my cat's food. And actually they're coming the 26th, which is here. So then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yep, I'll only need it once, so that's good. Usually I check before I do everything. But anyway, so I'm going to end this one here. And I will definitely let you guys know in May's first check-in what I'm doing with that extra line. If you guys have any other suggestions, please feel free to leave them down below. But when there's 5 weeks in the month, I don't have a 5th line. But there are some categories that I don't necessarily need to track every month, like household. I don't need to keep track of that weekly every month. But anyway, so I'm going to end this here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.